Oh, came back for it. Came back for it. All right, guys, quick little early morning surf session this morning. Got about an hour or two to fish. Starting off with the Lucky Craft. Probably all we're gonna throw this morning. The waves are a little bit bigger than ideal, but still somewhat manageable. And we're gonna see if we can pull out a few surf perch here. And as you saw in my last surf fishing video, you never really know what's gonna catch out here. So the target is surf perch, but who knows? Who knows what we might catch? First fish on here, I think it's a little striper. This my new buddy, this guy I just met to my left here, Mike. He just caught a little striper also on the Lucky Craft, so there must be a little school running through here. I have a feeling this guy's hooked a little funky. He's kind of dogging me. Feels like heavy weight here. But when you're fighting fish in the surf, you never want to fight against the wave. You always want to go with the wave. And there you go. Just a little guy here, probably about 15 or 16 inches, something like that. The minimum size, if you're looking to keep striped bass here on the West Coast, is 18 inches. So this guy's obviously not a keeper. But we'll take it. Nice little fight on the Lucky Craft there. There we go. Nice little fish to start off the morning. Proper release here. All right, it's fish number one. So the key on that fish, and I've noticed this with a few other fish in the past that I've caught on this Lucky Craft, is I felt it hit the lure like at least 2 times before it fully committed and actually got hooked. So one thing that I like to do, especially for these smaller fish like perch and striped bass, is a lot of times they just hit the lure, but they're not able to eat the whole, they're not able to grab the whole thing in their mouth. So you just keep it steady. You'll feel a little tap here and there, but just keep the lure coming in steady, keep your same retrieval rate. And then when you finally feel the weight of that fish on there, then you can set the hook and kind of drive that hook into the mouth. But a lot of times if you just, boom, set the hook right away off that first little tap, a lot of times you'll just yank the lure away from that fish and then that fish won't come back and hit it again. It's really hard not to get too excited and just boom, set the hook immediately off of that first hit. But I think if you just stay disciplined, stay calm, and wait for the fish to fully commit to the lure, your hookup rate will increase. Oh, came back for it. Came back for it. That's what I was talking about earlier, how a lot of times they'll hit it, but they won't commit fully to the bait. Luckily, that one came back for it. You don't always have that luxury. Sometimes you set the hook too early, you're kind of out of luck. But luckily, this one came back for it. I think it's another Schoolie striper. Maybe a touch bigger. Another Schoolie striper here on the Lucky Craft. You see it there. Like I said, this bait is pretty big for a striper of this size, so a lot of times letting them commit to that lure is the key to hooking the fish, whereas some of them you might miss. On this one, it actually bit. I set the hook too early and it wasn't on there. But luckily it came back and hit it a second time and I was able to get him. That doesn't always happen. So sometimes waiting for that fish to fully commit is the key. There you go, another little, probably 15, 16 incher. Not huge, but we'll take it. A lot of times people refer to these striped bass as schoolie stripers because when they're this size, the smaller ones, a lot of times they tend to school up in big schools. I've been out here at the surf when you can catch 10 of them in an hour. So we'll let this guy go and see if there's any more out there. All right, guys, let's get an epic slow-mo release on this one. Off he goes. All right, guys, quick little surf session this morning. Couple little schoolie striped bass on the Lucky Craft. And here on the Northern California coast, we can pretty much catch striped bass year round. I've caught them all through the winter, and then obviously the summer is the real season. But during the winter, a lot of times the fish are a lot smaller. So those schoolie size fish, like the ones you saw in this episode, are pretty common this time of year. But still a lot of fun to catch. So I've been getting a few questions on my videos about how do I decide when to come out fishing, what kind of conditions I'm looking for. And honestly, I'm usually just fishing whenever I have the time. But there are a couple of different factors I like to check beforehand. And one, which is pretty general, is the tide. And when you're fishing the surf, the tide has probably the biggest impact on how fishing is gonna be. And generally, high tide is usually better. But like I said, I'm fishing whenever I can, so sometimes I'm fishing right through the low tide. And I've caught plenty of fish on low tide, so it's not impossible. But if you come out enough to the beach, different beaches along the coastline, you'll find that some beaches fish better at low tide and some beaches fish better at high tide. And it just comes with experience and knowing the beaches, so there's no substitute for gaining experience out here. And then the second one I check is the swell. And there's a few, or actually a lot of different websites you can check. One that I check pretty frequently is the NOAA swell forecast site. I'll leave it linked in the description below. And that one's pretty accurate. The only problem with that one is it's offshore swell. And so the second one I check is Surfline. And that website's designed for surfers, obviously, hence the name Surfline, but it's got all the beaches up and down the California coast and really almost anywhere in the world, I think. But yeah, that website's great. It even has tides, swell, wind, really everything you need to know about the ocean before you go out. And added bonus, they have some live cameras so you can literally see the beach before you even get out here. So those are the two that I check pretty frequently. But if you guys have questions or other websites you think I should be looking at or other factors I should be looking at, leave a comment below and I'll share it in another video. But anyway, like I said, quick video this morning. You want to check out the Lucky Craft? I'll leave it linked below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.